Okay. It's been a long time since I made one of these videos, and to be honest, it seems like the inspiration for them ran out for a while, or the motivation for them ran out for a while. It kind of ran a little bit dry, and I was interested in other things, and I was kind of a bit all over the place doing lots of different things. And now I don't know if this is going to be still a regular thing, to be honest, but I certainly, through my own journey of kind of craziness, all kinds of like really wild stuff, I've got to the bottom of something that I feel is really fundamental to make something like this video on. It just kind of struck me so deeply that I just thought I need to pull over somewhere where there's light and make this video, because it's just so important on a base level for people to kind of understand, and for people to get, and for you, like for yourself, just to give it to yourself. And it's something I think like we don't do enough of, and it just struck me how much energy was being tied up in holding things against myself, like holding things against myself from the past, and holding things against myself from different situations in my life where I felt like I haven't acted the way that I wanted to act, or been the kind of person that I wanted to be. And so there's just a lot of stuff there that you hold it and you hold it, and it just saps your energy, and you can feel it doing that. So if anything, I want to do this at least for myself, and then if something good comes of it, then I hope that's good for other people too. So the big topic is forgiveness, and it's a huge topic. And there's a long time where I didn't really know what forgiveness meant. It wasn't like I couldn't get it. It was like it was just like a concept that was like, I don't really understand it. Like how do you do it? People talk about forgiveness a lot, and but they don't say like, how do you forgive somebody? They say, oh, you need to forgive. It's like, yeah, okay, well, great, but like how do you actually practice that? What do you actually do to do that? And nobody ever really could give me a full, like a definite answer. And so the answer I came up with is you just practice saying it. Like you practice saying it and you practice meaning it. And it's probably going to feel fake. And it's at first. And it's the same thing with like self-love. There's probably a whole bunch of reasons why you don't really like yourself all that much, and you haven't really got a lot of love for yourself, and there's plenty of things you're holding against yourself that you would do better to forgive yourself for. But there's no like, I just couldn't find any concrete steps, anything to kind of hold on to of like, well, how do I actually do that? What's the way that I actually do that? And so this was the answer that I came up with. It was like, yeah, you just practice saying it, and you repeat it, and you repeat that sentence until it kind of cuts or forges like a new pathway in your semantic network, and like somehow your subconscious and your body knows what that means. Like it's not necessarily obvious that it's a tangible thing, like a solid thing, like a 3D thing, because it's not. It's more a concept of like, I forgive somebody, and what does that really mean? So maybe it just means practicing repeating it again and again until it feels true. Very simple, but not so simple. So yeah, well, anyway, it's a big one. So I'm just going to go through and start tapping, and you can tap along and you see how that feels. Side of the hand. I'm having real trouble forgiving myself for all the things that I've done that I don't deem to be up to my standards. But I'm willing to give it a go. And I'm willing to do what I can to at least try to make peace with myself. I'm having a real difficult time forgiving myself. I haven't really known what it means. It's really hard. There's just been so many things. So many valid reasons that I could hold a grudge against myself. But I'm willing to give it a shot. I have to be willing to give it a shot. There's all kinds of reasons why I shouldn't be willing to forgive myself for all the terrible things that I've done. I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy of it. What the hell makes me think I should forgive myself? But I have to be willing to give it a go. I am willing to give it a go. Because I think my life might depend on it. Beginning of the eyebrow. I don't want to forgive myself. I've got plenty of good reasons not to forgive myself. There's plenty of things that I've done that I couldn't possibly understand. How anyone could forgive anyone for. And I'm not willing to forgive myself for those. I can't do it. It's too hard. It's too heavy. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to forgive myself. And that feels like the truth. And maybe that is the truth. But maybe it's not a complete truth. Maybe it's a half-finished truth. Maybe forgiving myself is not about me. Maybe it's more important than me. Maybe it's about everyone. Maybe me holding on to grudges about myself and wallowing in guilt and wallowing in shame is an incredibly selfish thing to do. Because maybe all that energy that I'm using to punish myself for all the terrible things that I've done could be being used to help other people. And so maybe by wallowing in all this guilt and shame, it's not only that I'm not helping myself, it's that I'm continuing to make it worse for other people too. And so maybe the least selfish thing I could do is to forgive myself. And free up all that extra energy to make the world better. For myself and other people. Maybe forgiving myself is way more important than I think. And it's not that I should do it. It's that I have to do it. My life depends on it. And that's actually true. And if my life depends on it, that affects the lives of the people around me. It affects their well-being. It affects what I can give to them. And to redeem myself. For my own sake. And the sake of others. I have to forgive. I have to forgive. I have to forgive. I have to forgive. It's too important. It's too important not to. I have to forgive. And it might take a lot of courage. And it might be really difficult. And I really might not want to do it. But not doing it is worse. Not doing it is way worse. Not doing it creates more pain. not just for me. And maybe that's as much as I deserve. But I can't be willing to put that on others. I can't be willing to drag them down. By my refusal to forgive myself. And keep all that energy tied up. To punish myself. And keep hating myself. And keep being angry with myself. And keep bullying myself. And it has to stop. It has to stop. It's not right. I'm too interconnected with all the people I love and care about. To keep punishing myself in this way. And withholding energy that I could be using to make their lives better. So I'm willing to forgive. I have to forgive. It's time to forgive. It's way past time to forgive. The best time to forgive was ages ago. The second best time is right now. Put it down. Put it down. It's over. It's done. Take a deep breath. You can probably do that as many times as it takes. It's like building these neural pathways isn't necessarily an overnight job. It's like it takes repetitions and practice. It's like lifting weights, building muscle at the gym. You know, you want to make sure that these neural pathways are solid, and you want to keep repeating it and keep practicing it and keep going with it until this is strong, until this becomes the way that you think. When this becomes the way that you think, this is going to become the way that your life begins to manifest. And you know, you don't know how good that could get. You don't know how good that could get if you keep, you know, reiterating this way of thinking. You know, what better way do you have to think about things than that? You know, what better way do you have for yourself and other people? And yeah, it's hard. It's seriously hard. and it's the best thing to do. If you have something better to think, then how can I make life better for myself and other people? Maybe I'm in a lot of pain, and maybe I've got a lot of resentment and a lot of like bitterness and anger and all kinds of like depression and despair, and these are terrible, terrible things. But what better thing do you have to do, even in like the depths of that kind of darkness, than to look at exactly where you are and start putting things together step by step, just repeating a thought, repeating some kind of process that is gonna take you one step away from the pits of that kind of despair, because it's not just you that is part of this. It's like if you go down, you're not alone, you drag people down with you. And so maybe it's the least selfish thing that you could do is to really start to take this kind of thing seriously and say, hey, look, maybe I've made a terrible mess of things so far, and life has become almost unbearably painful because of me and what I've done. And well, doesn't that make me a terrible person? Yeah, well, probably it does. So fine, what should I do about that? Well, I could either make things worse, or I could try to make things better. It just seems like a no-brainer. It's like, what are you going to do? Things are already terrible. Should I make them worse? It's not a great option. Maybe I should at least try to make them better, and maybe I'll fail at that. And yeah, that's probably going to be painful, but maybe making them worse is going to be more painful. So it's the least terrible option, is to at least try to make things a little bit better. And I can start right there. This is something that I could do, is to sit here and think about things and practice thinking about things in a way that's going to make things better. And then maybe that'll trickle down into the body, and that'll start manifesting as my reality. And once that starts to get a bit of momentum, who knows how far that could go. So maybe that's a good thing to practice. I hope that worked out well for you. I feel a bit different, and I'll keep on practicing that for a little while and see how that goes. If you have any feedback, you can let me know. But thanks for watching, and yeah, I wish you all the best.